What's up, beautiful people? We are on day 26 of the 75 hard, and this is my workout at 10:30, something like that. As you can see, I've sustained some damage. I'll tell you about it while I'm working out, but it's gonna be a quick workout. Shattered today. Today was the closest I came to failing the challenge, for sure. Pondered, just calling it. I was in urgent care all morning and 6 stitches, I think. Didn't get started on my challenge until probably like 4 p.m. Like didn't even start drinking water. So late start. My fiance is gone out, right? There's a party in the city, and I had to forego that because I'm not giving up on this challenge. And you know what kept me going? The channel. The channel kept me going. So, sometimes people shit on making content and they think it's cringe and all that, but I fucking love it. It's the best accountability partner, especially when you got some shit that you said you were gonna do and you've put it out there to the internet. This shit's fire. So yeah, I gotta get back to working out because I'm in the middle of it, but. Because the stitches are right under the eye. I'll tell you in a second. So because the stitches are right under the eye, right there, you can feel the blood flowing. You know when you're like really exerting yourself and you can feel the blood right here? I don't want to push myself too far. The doctor said I can work out. I mean, I was going to work out anyway, but. So what I'm going for here is most of the 75 hard so far. I told you guys I'm just trying to pack on as much weight as I can because I've generally been a pretty skinny in terms of like lifting guy. But so what I've been doing is just like heavy weight, starting this whole, we'll say the 75 hard is like my mesocycle, right? For those that are not familiar with a mesocycle, it's like think of like a 12-week diet. You have a 12-week mesocycle, that's with training. And through that mesocycle, you have different goals, right? So usually it starts with like a base of strength, right? Where you're just basically building up as much, apologies. It should really start with size, right? So in a beginner's kind of cycle, it should really begin with putting on as much size with the higher reps. And then towards the middle, you're going into the strength. So you're bringing down the reps and just increasing the weight. And then at the end, you're just kind of like pushing your body to the limit. How much can you move? Your 1 rep, 3 rep maxes, you're testing yourself, and obviously low reps. So heavy weight, low reps. But anyway, tonight, because I'm not trying to do too much, I'm just trying to work on lighter weights and really getting into the full range of motion. So we're on back. Wide grip. That was neutral grip, like that. And now we're getting into the pronated grip. This is pronated, this is supinated. Think of holding soup. So this is gonna be a short video. And while I'm working out, I just want to talk to you guys about something, a valuable lesson that has carried me far, right? Maybe you might say, Patrick, where are you? I feel like I've come a long way. But all right, so let's start with this, right? Well, actually, let's start with this. This is the tattoo on my arm, okay? The obstacle is the way. So forget that now, throw it out and follow me here. There was a interview with the Celtics head coach, and his name is Joe Mazzulla. And for any basketball fans, like, you know where I'm going with this. He has kind of come on the scene, and he's a very young coach, the youngest coach, I want to say ever in the NBA, the youngest. Ironically, he has a very, he's like a philosophic guy, right? Very philosophic. And you know, he goes viral because, you should look him up, Joe Mazzulla. He goes viral because he has these hilarious answers to questions that reporters give him, like, are you upset with the way the team played tonight? Like, what are you gonna do about it? How are you gonna sleep? And he comes back and he's like, how am I gonna sleep? Sorry about that. Someone came into the gym, and it's my apartment gym, and it's tiny. It's like basically a room. And I think it was an apartment that they just made into a fitness center. Fully equipped, they told us when we moved in. But yeah, I didn't want to subject those. It was a couple training late, 11 p.m. But I didn't want to subject them to my random thoughts. So anyway, actually, they're not random. This is something I want to talk to you guys about. It's going to be quick. It's going to be quick. But I mean, I cared about it enough to come down at 11. Set this shit up. You like that little tint back there? Yeah, and record the video. So hopefully you enjoy it. But this is the Heineken Zero I'm drinking. Guys, this fucking hits. If anyone loves the taste of beer, but you're trying to like wean down your alcohol, 0 calories, and it hits. I actually can't believe it, because, like, you know, the 0 calorie hoppy waters, this is it has way more of a punch, you know? But anyway, so let's get into it. The coach I'm talking about, Joe Mazzulla, very funny guy. There's montages on YouTube. He's the youngest coach in the NBA, and he kind of goes out of his way to like fuck with reporters. And, you know, I think sometimes he leans too far into it. Some of the analysts, the TV analysts, they say he's not really like that in the trainings and stuff. But anyway, I'll give you an example. A reporter one time asked, in just a normal regular season game, Joe, how can you sleep at night? Does it keep you up knowing you guys dropped the last 3 games that were, you know, in your hand and you just let them slip? And he was like, sleep at night? He's like, none of this matters. You guys aren't invited to my funeral. I'm not invited to yours. And in 50 years, well, I'll be dead. And it's like, okay, dude, that's a bit far. Anyway, so that's the kind of shit we're dealing with, right? But the star player on the Celtics, sorry, this is a lot of basketball talk, but I promise it actually comes through, right? We'll get off the basketball once I give you the quote. The star player of the Celtics won the NBA championship last year, and the star player, Jason Tatum, I mean, it's arguable, but Jason Tatum underperformed, right? He underperformed according to many. And that was just because he didn't score a lot of points every game. But what a lot of people who don't know basketball, it's not just about points, right? So when you're playing 7 games against the same team, which is the case in the playoffs, teams are going to go at that star player and double team him and prevent him from getting the ball and everything. So like, you can't compare his points in a playoff game, and take them and compare them to like the regular season game. You simply cannot do that. But people don't realize that, right? And he had tons of assists every game, and I think he played amazing. But he was getting so much criticism. Like, it was a thing. There was memes, there was reels. Everyone was saying Jason Tatum isn't the star player anymore. And, you know, there was interviews with him, and he was like, I just have to ignore it. His mom was getting mad, putting statements out. It was getting like crazy. And then at the end of the season, after they won the championship, he didn't win the MVP, interestingly enough. So like, there was that conversation of, was he the best player? But after the season, the coach, Joe Mazzulla, was interviewed. And what he said will literally stay with me forever, right? And it's helped me on the hard days of this challenge. I've had two really tough days. Today was one of them, where I was going to quit, and I had all the reason to. What I need to quit is enough excuses so that people won't call me out. But no one. I have this idea that people are like watching, and you know, they're gonna be like, Patrick, you pussy, or you know, whatever. No one cares. But anyway, all that aside, he said, the question from the reporter was, What do you make of all this undue criticism towards Tatum, which is his player? Do you think he can how do you think he's dealing with this? And I don't know the exact wording, but he corrects him and says, gets to. And okay, at surface level, you're like, right, yeah, he gets to deal with it. He's in the NBA, he's getting paid millions of dollars. But no, it goes a lot deeper than that. And that's what I'm continually trying to remember on this challenge, right? When you take on any difficult challenge, you are not taking it on for the easy days. Like, no one takes on a half marathon if you never ran before. You don't take on a half marathon for the 2 miles of training you do in the first week of training for that marathon, a half marathon. You take on the challenge of hitting a mileage in one run that you've never ventured to before, right? So by definition, you are actually signing up for the hardest part of it. Okay, so follow me here. So when we're in situations that we have put ourselves into and they are really, really difficult, yeah? That's the ones that make us wobble. And I'm not saying this is a strategy I'm going to give you that's helped me immensely. And it's so much that like, it's on my arm. The obstacle is the way. But try to reframe it, because you got to tell yourself, this isn't a hard part of this challenge. Like, oh, this is the hardest part. If I just get through today, it'll be easy sailing. I'll be back on this kind of like easy challenge. That's what I keep telling myself. Like, if I could just get through day 25, I'll be back into, we'll get into a rhythm and I'll be doing the workouts easy. But it's like, no. This is the test. This is what you signed up for. This is what you get to do. So if you can reframe it and just be in it, oh my God, it's changed look at me, like I'm sitting here with this fucking, I told you I didn't start this challenge. I didn't start the tasks today. Didn't start drinking water, hadn't read the pages, hadn't worked out, no progress photo, none of them until like 4 p.m. And I was like, fuck, this could be the day. And I was like, okay, what'll I do with the YouTube? Because I said I'm going to finish the 75, what I'll do. And it's like, you're not going to do anything because you're going to fucking finish it. You're going to do it today, because guess what? When you were so bit of backstory, when I started the challenge, I was not feeling good, right? Not in a good headspace. Overwhelmed, just in general, not feeling that fulfilled, just low, right? Just low. And I just wasn't prioritizing myself. I wasn't prioritizing my fitness. I wasn't prioritizing my routine. I wasn't prioritizing anything. And I said to my fiance, I was like, you know what? I'll do the 75 again. And she was like, all right, just know you're not going to really have summer then, the parties and stuff. Well, you're not going to have the drinking. I was like, I know, but I need this. And I actually, for anyone who's like contemplating a challenge like this, like just that decision, if you're like, oh, will this actually be better for me or worse? Like in the long run, will I actually be glad I took this on? You will. You 100% will. Because even if you do miss 3 parties over the next 75 days or 5 parties, that's 5 days. The other 70, you feel peak, fucking peak. I just came down from a gym session, 11 p.m., stitches in my eye, extremely tired. My dog has Lyme's and I'm like worried that the tick jumped on me. I'm exhausted, but I think I'm just overtrained. But I just came down from that workout. It's 11 p.m. and I'm on this like high. So coming back to the point of the video, anytime you're going through a struggle, to make it more durable, I'm not saying to make it easy, struggle is a struggle, but to make it more durable for yourself, try and reframe it that this is why you're here, for that struggle. You sought out a challenge, and on the hardest day of that challenge, that's what you signed up for. You wanted the exposure to that test, to that stress, to that strain, so that your body can take it, body it, and fucking adapt. Like this shit I feel like it transformed my brain chemistry now. And on the hard days, I'm like, oh, I have to do it because this is why I signed up. And the easy days are almost just like maintenance until the next shitstorm. So just a little strategy that might help. And just kind of segueing to the obstacle is the way. It's the same premise, right? It's like if there's an obstacle in the way, or think of a crazy shitty day that rhymes, hey, stop looking at it as like, okay, I need to get over this so that I can be in the clear on the other side, or I need to find a way around this. No, no, no. That is the way. That is for me. I want to seek it out. So that's it. Battery's on 5% here, so I hope that helps someone. I do, because that shit is, I believe this so much that I put it on my arm. And I put this on my arm not because I live it, but because I don't live it. And like when I'm feeling like I'm being soft or whatever, I don't consciously look down, but sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of it and I'll be like, fuck, what have I complained about today that has been a little test for me that I actually should be grateful for, you know? So, hey, day 26, finished. Water, done. Reading, done. I got to walk outside. I've trained strength training in a gym every day for 2.5 weeks straight. So I think it's been like 20 days straight. So I'm definitely feeling the effects of it, but I don't want to stop. Like, I don't want to stop. Not because I'm like loving the gains or anything like that. Like, I'm definitely not overtraining. I'm not overtraining, but I just want to push myself, you know? Anyway, guys, plenty more of these coming. I'm trying to get the frequency of these up. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. I hope you're having a freaking great Friday night. Peace.